My name is Maureen Kahima. I'm the chairperson of the Anti-Sexual Harassment Committee of Bara University. We have a committee comprised of 7 members. 3 are female and 4 are male. And these members are representative of the different categories of staff of this university. Student membership is ad hoc when we need student to represent their fellow student. That one is brought on board when we need to do an activity. The law of Uganda mandates institutions and organizations to have a sexual harassment policy, and the policy of Bara University, the sexual harassment policy of Bara University, provides for an anti-sexual harassment committee to implement the objectives of the committee, of the policy. The committee is mandated, among other things, to handle cases of sexual harassment and also to sensitize the mass community about sexual harassment in all its forms and what can be done about it. So in the video, you will get to know about sexual harassment, what it is and the different forms. You'll get to know about the existing legal frameworks internationally and nationally. You'll get to know about some interventions, what can be done, what is being done. You'll also know about how to report. Who do you report to in case you're a victim of sexual harassment or you've observed sexual harassment in your environment, in our environment as a masked community. We also highlight some control measures, some mitigation measures on how we can live in a community that is free of sexual harassment. I wish you a nice week.
Understanding sexual harassment. Sexual harassment refers to unwelcome, offensive, and unwanted behavior by its nature, singular or through persistent conduct. It can be done by the supervisor, peer, manager, in charge, or service provider, and vice versa. It may be verbal or non-verbal. It has a negative effect towards dignity, employment, career, academic performance, or job satisfaction and access to services that may be direct or implicit. Whether behavior is or is not sexual harassment does not depend on the harasser's intention, but on the target's perception of what is unwelcome, unwanted, and offensive. In fact, sexual harassment is not consensual behavior that is mutually desired and agreed upon. It is not wanted or welcome advances, flirtation, or attempts at gallantry. Who can be harassed? The university workers, peer-to-peer at either student or staff level. Even the third party can be harassed. There are 2 categories of sexual harassment, and that is hostile work and quid pro quo. Hostile work involves degrading and humiliating the victim, and quid pro quo involves the exchange, that is, employment or academic benefits. Sexual harassment manifestation can be in different ways. That is, physical harassment, which entails kissing, patting, staring, inappropriate medical examinations, and others. Secondly, we have verbal harassment. That is, unwelcome comments about a person's private life, body parts, and others. We have gestro harassment, which entails winks, licking of lips, among others. We have written or graphic harassment. That is, pornographic materials, screensavers. And finally, we have psychological or emotional harassment, which entails insults, taunts, and innuendos of a sexual nature. Sexual harassment causes and contributors can be categorized in the following levels. That is, individual level, which includes biological and personal history factors. We have relationship level, which includes proximal social relationships. We have work or organizational level, organizational culture, which includes values and beliefs, written and unwritten rules, and others. And then we have societal or cultural level, and this includes peer groups, schools, religious and community institutions, among others. There are very many consequences of sexual harassment, and these are categorized in 4 levels. The first is for the victim, which entails HIV, STDs, abortions, unwanted pregnancies. There is depression, late salary, demotion, loss of the job. And then to the perpetrators. While we have STDs, HIV, we have violator of the human rights, being avoided, feared at work, and feared to work with others. Loss of job, being depressed, among others. Then at the organizational level, the consequences of sexual harassment are absenteeism, poor quality of care, high attrition. And then finally at the societal level, the consequences of sexual harassment are decreased productivity, reinforcement of patriarchal norms, decreased GDP. Existing legal and policy framework still talking about sexual harassment? It is a human rights issue. To promote productivity in the work or study place, workers or students must be protected against sexual harassment. There are 3 different existing frameworks about sexual harassment, and we have at the international level the Convention on Elimination of All Forms of Discrimination Against Women, that is CEDAW, which was adopted in 1979. At the regional level, we have the African Charter on Human and People's Rights. Thirdly, at the national level, the Constitution of the Republic of Uganda, which was adopted in 1995. There are national legal and policy frameworks. Sexual harassment has been recognized as a type of gender-based discrimination. The Republic of Uganda is mandated to take all necessary actions to ensure that workplaces and institutions adopt a zero-tolerance approach to sexual harassment. An employer with more than 25 employees shall adopt a written policy against sexual harassment. It is a written policy and it is available on MAST website. Sexual harassment interventions. This includes counseling and emergency medical services. The word counseling means help, helping someone to help him or herself. Counseling is a professional relationship that empowers diverse individuals, families, and groups to accomplish mental health, wellness, education, and career goals. Psychosocial is support given to persons with mental, emotional, social, economic, and spiritual challenges, among others. Counseling a victim of sexual harassment. We need to fight sexual harassment wherever it occurs and assure all parties involved of support. Reassurance, general support to relieve strong emotions of guilt or anxiety. We have a non-judgmental attitude. Warmth, empathy, congruence, confidentiality. There are emergency medical services given in regards to sexual harassment. And these are emergency medical services are for those who have been sexually violated, e.g. rape and defilement. Rape refers to oral, anal, in vaginal penetration that involves threats or force against an unwilling person. This also has treatment. And what is this? The victim is advised not to throw out or change clothing, wash, shower, dodge, brush the teeth, or use mouthwash. Doing so may destroy evidence. The victim is advised to go for medical examination immediately. The purpose is for medical evidence for police or to assess fitness for post-exposure prophylaxis, that is PEP. Whom do you refer to? What are the links? Whom do you talk to when you are sexually harassed? The long-term psychosocial support, that is the university counselors. Psychiatric unit, we have the legal counseling, mass legal office, legal aid, feeder, and others. We have the police. This entails investigations, restraining orders, among others. We have the child protection services, that is the district probation officer, and then the economic empowerment or and emergency shelters like Mifomi Mbarara. Long-term case management. The victim should know it's a long-term process. Sexual harassment reporting. How do you lodge a complaint? A complaint must be brought to the attention of the Anti-Sexual Harassment Committee through the unit of Sexual Harassment Committee and Top Management Committee by a victim, a witness, or any concerned person. How does one lodge this complaint? There are two options that a witness or a victim of sexual harassment may wish to pursue, that is an informal procedure or a formal procedure. A student will make a complaint to the Dean of Students through the unit of Sexual Harassment Committee or to the head of department or directly to the Dean of Students, who will present the same issue to the Top Management Committee for further action. And if you are staff, a staff may wish to report to the University Secretary through the Director, Human Resource, or directly to the University Secretary, who will present the same issue to the Top Management Committee. What about the third party? Lodging a complaint as the third party. This is just directly to the University Secretary, who will present the complaint to the Top Management Committee for further action. There are measures to control and mitigate sexual harassment. A suggestion box which will be put to those that want to share any information that is a whistleblower concerning any case being handled by the Anti-Sexual Harassment Committee. A case facilitator will handle the complaint with utmost integrity and impartiality. The rules of natural justice will be observed, and also advise the complainant that the university reserves the right to pursue the matter further even where the complainant has decided not to. Stop sexual harassment.